Hey folks! Hey folks, today is Friday, May 19th, 2023. My name is Jake Baldino, as usual, here to talk about the video game news that has been going on this week. And before we jump in, just real quick, public service announcement type thing. The Friday show is actually going to be appearing earlier in the day. So we're here on the East Coast. We usually publish it in the afternoon on Fridays, but it is generally going to be appearing earlier in the day. So we're going nowhere. Nothing else is changing. Just the show will be showing up in your sub boxes or whatever a little earlier. So keep your eyes peeled. Always know that the Friday show is the video where the title is in all caps. It's annoying, but that's how you can see it. Anyway, we do have a bunch of news to talk about, so let's just jump right in. The first thing is, of course, a little bit of a Grand Theft Auto 6 bit. Now, last week we talked about some rumors and some leaks that ended up being debunked, but this time we got something a little bit more concrete. I mean, concrete is a big phrase here, but this comes from publisher Take-Two Interactive themselves, with their newest earning projections and a press release they put out that kind of gives a little bit of a look as to when we might see GTA 6. So essentially in its earnings reports that it put out projections for the next couple of fiscal years, and 2025 fiscal year and 2026 fiscal year for them look like they're going to see a massive jump. Like earlier, their projections were like 3 billion, but like one of their most recent ones, they hit 5 billion, but this time around they're looking at 8 billion. That is a significant jump, and that's considering Zynga and those acquisitions and everything. So a lot of people are extrapolating that what is going to fill that massive bubble, that huge void of money, the next Grand Theft Auto game. And this is significant because technically their fiscal year begins April 2024. So that can at least give you some sort of idea that 2024 into 2025 might actually be the time of Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, we've been talking about this game forever. We know Rockstar is officially working on it. They've acknowledged that. The game also leaked a shit ton, so there was that as well. So at the very least, what you can take from this news, obviously it's a massive window, but what you can take is that it is real, and it is actually coming at some point, and seemingly the big parent company of Take-Two is preparing for it. They've got their bag of money open, and they're ready to bring some in. Does that make sense? I mean, there's probably a lot more to look into with this stuff, with earnings reports and projections and stuff, but I can't do math, so let's move on and talk about the next biggest story. Of course, it's gotta be Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 1 has officially been announced. It's releasing September 19th for all the platforms this year, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week with fan predictions and the theories, and they turned out to be pretty much right. So essentially, it's Fire God Liu Kang after the events of the previous games. Now there's this new timeline where he is the guy, and there is a lot to dive into here if you're like an old Mortal Kombat lore fan. So this isn't totally what I was expecting. While it is a reboot, I was expecting almost like a reboot, back to basics type thing, like an actual Mortal Kombat 1, like based on the old 90s one. But no, this is essentially a clean slate, new Mortal Kombat lore. Like the trailer teased a lot of different things with characters in different situations and different alliances and stuff like that. A lot of rivalries are ended, which I guess creates opportunities for new weird things to happen. I mean, they show Melina. That's a pretty big deal. It seems like once again, Shang Tsung is the bad guy, but there's probably something going on different with that. The trailer is wild. Tonally very different, but where it wasn't tonally different is the gore. The gore was absolutely insane, and I hope in a way they can actually take it to the next level, because the original game pioneered it and created a bunch of chaos. So maybe they're taking it even further, because this trailer was over the top. We can't show any of that gore, of course, or we're going to get flagged on YouTube, but just know that it's there. You can watch the trailer for yourself. It will be linked in the description down below, of course, with everything else I talk about this week. But it's like a full thing, full speed ahead. You know, they announced like collector's edition, pre-order bonuses, early access, yada, 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 all that stuff. There's going to be a story mode, online modes, new modes, things like that to expect. There's also going to be like a kind of cameo system where you're going to be able to select other characters that are apparently going to assist you. We don't know how that's essentially going to work, but also in the fine print in the Q&A section of the Mortal Kombat website, a lot of people didn't notice this, but there's going to be like a pre-order type whatever bonus skin for Johnny Cage. So Johnny Cage is going to be in the game. It's interesting because like I don't know how those characters like Johnny Cage, Jax, Sonya, how they're going to show up in the game, but Johnny Cage is apparently going to be in the game, and one of these skin bonuses, these alternate skin options, is actually going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme as Johnny Cage, which is extremely cool if you're into the history of Mortal Kombat and the inspirations and stuff. Love to see it. I hope this game is good. Could they screw it up? Yes. I think we have to have a disclaimer like that with every single game. But if it's gory and you can punch dudes, I'm in. So, of course, we'll keep you guys peeled once we actually hopefully see some gameplay soon. I expect to see some during the Summer Game Fest thing in early June. I'll be there. Maybe I'll be able to touch the game. So I'll let you guys know. Oh, I have 2 requests, though. Bo Ride Cho and Jarek. Put them in the game. I think a lot of people don't want them in the game, but I want them in the game. Damn it, do it. Anyway, in the last couple of weeks, we've talked about Xbox a lot in the headlines for various reasons. Redfall, the Activision Blizzard stuff, but it seems like it's PlayStation's turn because they announced a PlayStation Showcase. This is apparently going to be a big one. It's next week, the 26th, and it's apparently going to be more than an hour, and it's going to be focusing on showing new games for PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2. Nice to see that they're not immediately leaving the PSVR 2 in the dark. Love to see that, but this seems to be the one that a lot of people have been hyping up, anticipating like what is the next thing for PlayStation 5. A lot of people are expecting Spider-Man gameplay. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Are we going to see something from Wolverine? Who knows? Some projects that we have no idea, just some unexpected stuff? Maybe. But a lot of insiders, Andy Robinson from Video Game Chronicles is alluding to a Metal Gear reveal, some sort of new Metal Gear Solid thing. Now, we've talked about rumors in the past. You guys have probably heard them all. It could be Metal Gear Solid 3 remade. Who knows? You guys know, you see the t-shirts I wear all the time. Metal Gear Solid is like a significant portion of my life. I am a loser for Metal Gear Solid since I played MGS in 1998, 1999 when I first laid eyes on it. And I'm skeptical. I'm nervous. You know, I'm not looking forward to anything without Hideo Kojima unless it's like a remake or certain specific things that I need to explain longer in a different video. But I'm nervous. Essentially, what I want to say to some of you old fans out there like me is just cherish what we have right now, where the Metal Gear series, is preserved in amber, where it's just those games, they exist in a bubble, and they will still forever, whether new stuff comes or not. The discourse, the conversation around new games can probably be annoying, but I said this on social media, like it's kind of like being a Star Wars fan for a really long time. I was alive for when it was just the original 3 movies, and you didn't think anything else was coming, and then suddenly there were prequels. Then after that, you thought George Lucas was done, you didn't think anything was coming, and then the Disney ones, and then more and more and more and more and more. So is Metal Gear Solid going to become that? Like now that the floodgates are open and the companies want to make money, are they just going to keep throwing Metal Gear stuff at us? I don't know, but it doesn't affect those original great games that we got. Whether these new ones are good or bad, again, I'm nervous, but still, we still always have those original games, and I weirdly cherish and take comfort in the time where we didn't think anything else was coming. Still, if you're excited, good for you. I don't want to dampen anyone's, but I'm going to be really annoying about Metal Gear Solid for the foreseeable future if they announce something, so keep your eyes peeled. Let's see what we got next week. I'll be talking about that PlayStation Showcase probably on the Friends Per Second podcast, and of course, next Friday. Got you covered. I threw on some hot takes though, so I definitely want to know what you guys think in the comments about a possible Metal Gear resurgence. You know, the conversation again. But speaking of hot takes and wild stuff, Overwatch 2, Activision Blizzard announced that they're scrapping hero mode. Basically a big portion of Overwatch 2 and why people bought into Overwatch 2, even though it's technically a free-to-play game. The whole idea about Overwatch 2 was essentially supposed to be an overhaul and actual, real, genuine story content and a whole PvE mode with breakout modes centered around specific heroes, progression with those heroes, special abilities only for these modes, and we're not getting that. They're ditching that. Activision Blizzard expressed regret. They seem like they're not happy about the decision, but it is what it is. They chose to ultimately focus their resources on making the base game better, and apparently we're still going to see little bits of that story content and some co-op stuff here and there, but this is a pretty big blow for a lot of people. For me, I had passive interest in Overwatch 2. You know, we covered the game when it first released. Seemed like a little bit of an upgrade, but it felt like there was more coming. I was excited for a possible, real, genuine story mode with some progression, specifically because I like what Activision Blizzard builds with these things. The characters are cool and quirky. The vibe is great. The cinematics are wild. So they were finally going to really take advantage of that, and now they're not. And that is questionable, I think. This seems to me very much to be like long-term planning gone wrong. Who's managing it? How hard is the top execs pushing this thing? Because something was lost in translation, and for this plan to not be executed is a bummer for a lot of people. A lot of the big streamers and YouTubers have come down hard on this. The Overwatch community themselves, I don't really know how they feel. I'm never going to speak for them, but I think all I can say is just knowing a lot of people that love Overwatch, like, just get out of their way. Like, let Overwatch just be Overwatch at this point. I don't know how Activision Blizzard keeps screwing this up. But anyway, look forward to Diablo 4 soon. I'm kidding. I'm being cynical. We'll see how that goes. Early signs, reactions are pointing all right for that, but we'll be talking about that more soon. Awesome, cool trailers this week, though. Some things I linked in the description down below. There's a new trailer for Lords of the Fallen, the new one. So it is coming on Friday the 13th in October. Awesome release date, love it. But this trailer, in my opinion, is a damn good video game trailer. This is how you make a trailer. You can set it up with some cool cinematics and awesome shit, but then also lead with a bunch of gameplay. And we got all of that. We got a really good song. We got, it just seems pretty awesome. This seems like a really good Souls-like, Souls-inspired game. Really, really a step up from the original game, like visually, combat-wise. Like, there is so much going on here, and I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Buying it, downloading it, and like getting stuck on the first level. But hey, that is dropping, if it doesn't get delayed, for PC, PS5, and Series X and S. Also, for my real sweaties out there, Hawken is back. It's been a long time. Hawken Reborn has been announced with a trailer. We got little glimpses of gameplay, and essentially what this is going to be is like an early access release where first, it's actually going to release with a PvE story mode. It's of course first-person mech action, but apparently it's going to have a full narrative and all that stuff. But interestingly enough, this is a free-to-play game. And expected with this is possibly multiplayer down the line, because I know that that's what a lot of people are into. But this was kind of like a surprise thing, sooner than a lot of people expect. I mean, it's technically available in early access now, so we haven't jumped into it yet, but if you're a diehard Hawken person from back in the day, let me know what you think. I'm more of a Tony Hawken guy myself. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave. Also, I linked a trailer for Humanity. This is a new PlayStation game, also PSVR 2 game. Reviews have been pretty good for this, and it seems really creative and weird. A couple of my friends have jumped into it. I want to make time for it because it just seems creative and wild, so wanted to give something weird and different a shout. But speaking of giving weird and different things a shout, Eli Handle B, we've mentioned this YouTuber before. Incredible work with really good video game stuff and green screens. And this time around, they have Borat in Resident Evil 4. Just take two of my favorite things, mash it together. Thank you. It was absolutely perfect. Go give them some love. Link in the description. And in Nintendo news, I know some of you guys are out there still playing Tears of the Kingdom. I am myself also as well. I feel like I'm going to be playing it forever. It has sold 10 million copies very quickly. Nintendo announced that it is the fastest selling Zelda game in the series. Believe it or not, it doesn't come close to being the fastest selling Nintendo game because I guess Nintendo is just that huge. But this is a record for the Zelda series. So good for Link. He really needed a win. Jokes aside though, let me know what you guys think about Tears of the Kingdom specifically. We always do a pinned comment under these videos that says like, hey, what are you playing this week for our research? So if you're playing Tears of the Kingdom, let us know because we only put out the before you buy. We want to see if you guys are hungry for more videos on it or if you're just playing it or something else. Just let us know. I'm a little scattered. I just had a lot of coffee, excuse me. But one thing I really wanted to point out is that Nic Cage is finally in a video game. It took a really long time. It's Dead by Daylight, though. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't play Dead by Daylight, but hey, Nic Cage is in a thing. He's been revealed in all of his glory. It seems like it's Nic Cage himself. He's dressed a little bit like from Renfield, but that just looks like Nic Cage, not vampire Nic Cage or anything like that. We don't know too much about this. We know more is going to be revealed July 5th. But again, I think it's about time. Although I will say, I think Nic Cage, like that's a big deal for them to nail that, for them to sign him. Dead by Daylight must have a shit ton of money at this point with what they've pulled off. Like, I think second only to Fortnite at this point. But give Nic Cage, like, his own whole game. I think he's, like, Jet Li got his own game. Chow Yun-Fat got a game. Plenty of celebrities star in games. I mean, Josh Duhamel has starred in more than one video game. So why can't Nic Cage have a game? Anyway, sorry, soapbox over. We got to go back to work. We have a lot of before you buy videos coming soon for a lot of upcoming games. I am up to my eyeballs, so keep your eyes peeled. If you can't tell I'm off my game, I'm a little weird. It's because I'm really tired. There's a lot of games coming, so keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll keep you posted on all that. But let's talk about the news going on this week, man. What do you think about a PlayStation showcase. What do you expect? How do you feel about my long, weird, rambling tangent about the Metal Gear Solid series and how I'm coming to grips that we might have more? Let's talk about the new Hawken title, the Lords of the Fallen trailer. Let's talk about anything this week down in the comments. We want to hear from you guys. Like I said, expect this Friday show to start showing up in your sub boxes a little earlier in the day. So hopefully if you're in a different time zone now, you can jump in earlier. But clicking the like button helps us. We're here every Friday. We're never going anywhere. So thank you. But like I said, I got to go. I'm Jake Baldino. Thank you very much for being here. Be safe. Have a good weekend. Eat some pizza because pizza's on me. See ya.